Continuing directly from our last video, once we have decided which species in our redox reaction gets reduced and oxidized, we then need to pick which species is our reducing agent and our oxidizing agent. If we look at Mn, it goes from an oxidation state of +7 to an oxidation state of +2. That means it gained 5 electrons and was reduced. The species that gets reduced is referred to as the oxidizing agent. We call the species that gets reduced the oxidizing agent because in order for this species to gain electrons, another species must have had to lose electrons or get oxidized. For this reason, we call the species that gets reduced our oxidizing agent. If we look at I went from an oxidation state of -1 to 0. So that means that we removed 1 electron from I and it got oxidized. Now, we would call this our reducing agent. Because I removed an electron and gets oxidized, we can then use that electron to reduce another species. Hence why the species that gets oxidized is your reducing agent. So overall, once you have decided which species gets oxidized and which species gets reduced, you can say the species that gets reduced is your oxidizing agent because that species is able to gain electrons because of someone else. And the species that gets oxidized is your reducing agent because you removing electrons from that species allows another species to gain electrons and get reduced.